Hi folks, this is my video response to Skogknife's tribute to Axes thread on Bushcraft Forum. I take it you guys want to see axes, and boys and girls, you came to the right place because I've got axes. Just ask my wife. I've got probably way too many, but I'm going to show you a handful here today. I've got big axes, small axes, I got single bits, double bits, got Swedish axes, American axes, you name it, I've got it. Let me start with the little stuff. This one here I've had the longest. This is an East Wing Sportsman's hatchet. Not a real fantastic axe, but you know what? It's durable, so I keep it in my pickup. I bought this axe about 10 years ago after an incident out in the woods where if I'd had a hatchet, I could have cut down a tree and saved myself $1,500 worth of damage to my truck. So if you don't have one in your pickup, guys, and you like to go four-wheeling, I recommend putting one in there. This one here is probably my favorite hatchet. This is a True Temper Tomahawk. It's a 1940s vintage hatchet. It's got a real thin bit. It's a good chopper. It's lightweight, so easy to pack. You can swing it all day long and it won't wear you out. So this is a real fantastic tool. Let's see, what else do I got here? Well, this one I put together this year. This one's a little bit bigger. This is a Plum Victory hatchet. It's got a cedar pattern head on it, an interesting hammer-shaped pole. I'm real excited about this. I made two of these, one for myself and one for my best friend, which I just mailed back home to him, and he says he's real happy with it, so I was excited to hear that. This is what I'm going to take with me out camping this year and see if I like it, you know, a little bit more than the small one. It's heavier, but it's got a lot more power to it. This is a 1 pound, 10 ounce head, so it outweighs the Grand Force axe, which is similar in size. This has got an 18-inch handle on it now that it's fitted, so real excited about this. Speaking of Grand Force, I've got a Grand Force Brooks small forest axe. I really wanted one of these, but I wanted to hand pick it, so I drove 2 hours up to Tulsa, Oklahoma to sift through the small stock that a little specialty store had, and so I bought this. I haven't really taken it out to the field a whole lot. I'm sure that shocks you guys, but I'm really into these historical, you know, vintage heads. So I really bought this as an example of what the best axe should be. You know, as far as the fit of the handle and the finish and the sharpness and all that. So this has kind of been my example axe. I've obviously taken it out and used it some, but I don't really carry it out in the woods. I'd rather take these old ones with me. Talk about Nessmook a lot. I do have a Nessmook double bit hatchet. It needs a new handle. I've got an octagonal handle to fit on it, so I'll probably post up a picture of that when I get around to it here in a few weeks. Still pretty cold here in Massachusetts, so when the warm days come, we'll get some more of these hung and fixed up. Something a little bit bigger. I've got another Norland here. This is a Norland Hudson Bay pattern axe. Still got the original sticker on it. I got this one kind of early on in working this hobby, and I never really got the head fastened the way I wanted it. But that's okay, because I've got another Hudson Bay pattern axe. This one's a Collins Legitimus, and I like this head a little bit better than Norland. It's got a better contour to it. It's got some bevel to the cheek face. That's a feature I prefer. This is a fantastic pack axe. If you're going to carry an axe, you know, lashed to your pack, then this is what you want to take if you're going to be chopping through a lot of wood. This has got almost all the power of a a full-size 3/4 axe, but it's a little bit lighter and handier to carry. So this is definitely a fantastic tool. Here's a double bit for you. This is a cruiser axe. This is a 2.5 pound head on a 28-inch handle. This is one I finished up a few weeks ago. I got this because I love double bits. If you guys haven't tried out a double bit, you need to give it a shot. They're, you know, we talk about balance and whatnot. Well, nothing balances as well as a double bit. These are so handy. They're real accurate. Even a clown like me could put on a pretty good show with a double bit. I got this one to take, you know, car camping and stuff like that. That's normally when I would pull out the 2.5 pound axes. So we'll get some use out of that this season, I'm sure. This here is an old Collins Legitimus 3-pound Dayton pattern head. I got this pretty early on as well, and I don't remember how many handles I put on here before I finally got one on that was tight. Still didn't do a very good job of it. I've used this one as an example of why you should file down the shoulders on these axes, because if you don't, then it'll catch on things like when you're splitting wood. And so I've torn this handle up a little bit. This was a good learner for me, and I know you guys who are starting out are frustrated and afraid of wasting handles. Well, I can't count the number of handles that I butchered before I finally figured out what I was doing, so hang in there. Be patient. I mentioned Swedish axes. Well, I've got a bunch of those. Check this out. Here's a tribute to axes. I've got 4 of those Swedish military axes we've been talking about from Sportsman's Guide. They're real nice. I think I got these mostly to give away to friends. I might or may not keep one for myself. I haven't decided yet, but I've got a lot of friends who asked me to do up an axe for them, so this is what they're going to get. Here's the companion to that cruiser axe. This is a full-size, true temper, Kelly Perfect felling axe, 3.5 pound head, 36-inch handle. If I'm going to fell a tree, then this is going to be my first choice of axe. It's a thin bit, beautiful contour. This just feels great in the hand and great to be swinging. I wish I got to use it more than I do. Here's another Kelly Perfect for you. You're going to find I like the Kelly Perfect. In fact, these are probably, in my opinion, the best heads that were ever made, the best axes that were ever made. I wish I could go back in time and buy, a whole truckload of these just to have, brand new. Unfortunately, I have to sift through the stuff that they put up on eBay and do it with what I can find. But this guy here is a 4-pound single bit, and it's a little bit heavier head. You can feel it. It's got some power behind it. It's got a real good pattern for helling. Excuse me, a real good pattern for felling. It's got a straighter bit to it, and so it cuts through more of the fibers on each stroke than one with more of a curve to it. So that this is a real good felling axe as well. You just finish that one up yet. Put some linseed oil on the handle, get that lacquer off of it. So here's another true temper Kelly Perfect. I split a lot of wood with this axe. It's definitely been used, been pitted, and somebody painted it. I cleaned the paint off it, put a fresh edge on it. You might be able to see in the camera. This is a real good splitting axe. It's probably a great felling axe when it was new. It's been sharpened down so far that the bit's getting pretty thick. And even though I can put a sharp edge on it, it's not going to bite in as deep as one of these better axes that hasn't been sharpened down so far. So I'll hang on to him, but he's going to be a splitting axe. Alright, here's the last one I'm going to show you guys. This is a plum 3/4 axe, 2.5 pound head on a 28-inch handle. I take this guy car camping. I have for several years now. This is a real handy pattern and kind of a neat head. It's another cedar pattern or pulpwood pattern, you'll see them called. It's also got the hammer pole on it. It's kind of the companion to this hatchet here that I put together. Been a great axe. I take it car camping every year. I bust up wood that I find laying around. It's a great splitter, good chopper. So this is another keeper for me. I've been restoring these and kind of researching them for the last 3 or so years. I've read every book I can find on axes. I can't get enough of them. I'll talk axes with you guys anytime if you got questions. I can't claim to be the Delphi Oracle of axes, but I've picked up quite a bit in the last few years tinkering with these, so please, by all means, let me know, and if I can help you out, I will. Alright guys, later.